today's society with as a parent, as a person parenting little kids, to trying to keep the house clean, to potentially having a job, a work from home job, or a job that's away from home, maybe having to put kids in daycare and what that looks like, and just all the different things, all the different aspects, trying to spend time with friends still, now that you have little kids, trying to spend time with family, trying to just balance all the different aspects. Maybe you have a social outlet or a group that you're a part of. Maybe you have a church group. Maybe you have a social community that you're a part of, that you're volunteering. Maybe your kids are a part of something. The options are never ending, and to try to balance all of that, I don't know, maybe there's a solution, maybe there's not. I just wanted to chit chat about it, and I'm glad that you're here. Hello. It is so late, so I'm sorry in advance for any yawns that may take place or may not take place. I had so many ideas of all the things I wanted to talk about, and I started doing a bunch of them, but I think I wanted to chit-chat a little bit about why is it so hard to balance being a mom. I'm just gonna extrovert a little bit. So if this bothers you or is boring, just turn it off. But, I've been thinking a lot about this because it's so funny, and I know all the moms can relate, because before having kids, you're able to do whatever, whenever, however, and you have all this free time. It's like you could just go do whatever. Like, somebody could just call you up and be like, hey, you're like in the middle of something, but they'll call you up and be like, hey, do you want to go do this? And you're like, yeah, sure, like whatever. And you can just go. And I think making that transition to that amount of freedom is kind of really hard. And mom's life looks way different than when they didn't have kids. Even if you were married, you still had large amounts of freedom, I feel like, rather than once you have a kid, it's like your freedoms are literally vanish out of thin air. I think once, perhaps, this is me just speculating because I don't have older kids right now, but I feel like from what I see, you may have a little more free time, a little more, when they start school, or maybe when they're middle school, high school. I feel like they're kind of doing their own thing at that point. So you may be able to go and do your own things at that point. Getting ready to be an empty nester and all that. But right now, having like the littlest of the littles, it's like the transition is hard, and I find, I wake up and I want to clean whatever I didn't clean the night before, whether it's dishes or laundry or picking up the floor, sweeping or mopping, or doing the weekend chores where I'm bleaching everything, all the bathrooms, and vacuuming and sweeping, And then I also have a part-time work-from-home job. So do I do that right away in the morning, and then it's out of the way? But if, like on a day like today, it's going to rain at 3, we can't go for a walk at 3 or in the afternoon, which it didn't end up raining, but it said it was gonna. Sorry, I already yawned. It's like 11:30 at night. I should be going to bed. but it smells like Santa's cookies in here. So, yeah, I'm going to continue. But anyways, if it rains, I have to get my walk in. We have to get outside. It's good for him to get outside and all the stimulation and everything, but like it's good for me too to walk the 5 miles. I try to walk 5 miles every day. I've been pretty successful this summer, but just trying to keep that up. So I like to get it in somewhere. Ideally I'd like to have the house cleaned in the morning and then right away work on work, get that done for the day, and then go for a walk for a break, and then come back and be able to edit a YouTube video, do a podcast, do maybe social media or something, do the other part of my job that is social media, or something else like that, maybe go somewhere special or fun with Everest, the zoo or petting zoo or something, somewhere special and fun that he doesn't always get to go to, the lake, the pool. Once I'm done with my work, once the house is cleaned, once, lunch and dinner are prepared in the fridge, and then I can just cook it or bake it or whatever. It just feels like everything's out of the way at that point. Whereas most days, I will wake up and we'll get breakfast, and then I'll usually take him for a walk. I'll try to work a little bit, but usually he'll start to get antsy, so then we'll go for a walk. Just so he can get some energy out, Just so he can, just get all the energy out. I mean, he needs to get that out. Otherwise, he's cooped up inside, and then he starts getting into stuff, and it's a hassle and all that. So it's just best to get outside right away, And I find that every morning or every time I come back into the house, it's like my brain is going in 50 million directions of like, oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to do this. As I start to do something, I see something else I need to do. So I start that, and then I walk away because I know I need to do other things. So I go start like all these different projects, halfway starting and then going to start another one. And eventually coming and circling back and finishing all the projects, only to find out that I have several more to do since when I started and finished all those other projects. So it's weird. The transition from being like a more free person, like being married, to having kids. Kind of, yes, it's busy. Yes, it's good. Yes, it keeps the days like interesting in a way. It can be dull. Sorry, all the movement. It can be dull because it can feel like you're doing the same thing every single day. But I think trying to figure out where to divide your time is really difficult, because I often find like in our community there's a lot of spontaneity, a lot of spontaneous like things like, hey, we're gonna randomly go to the lake. Anyone want to join? Hey, does anyone want to go for a walk? We're going to go to this special trail. Anyone want to join? Or, hey, we're going to go line dancing, axe throwing, whatever. And of course I want to go. Of course, normally, or not normally, but like before I had a kid, I would go to every single thing and still be able to get my work done, edit a video, make a podcast, whatever side project I'm doing, have everything clean, But now it's like all of that gets put on the back burner, And I do still find time to get it done, The only thing like recently is my YouTube videos. I have been a little bit more lax on that. But I have been wanting to take the thumbnails to a new level, which is really exciting for me. I'm going to start photoshopping them a little bit in the sense of like color correcting and adding vibrancy and different things. So I'm really excited about that. But again, that's just adding another thing. Like tonight, like the last 2 nights, I did not clean up our house. Like I had the dishes done, but I didn't clean up all his toys. So when we wake up in the morning, it's like toys everywhere. And it's actually kind of not frustrating, but it kind of puts a damper on the morning, because when you wake up to a clean house, you walk out and the sun is coming up and their dishes are done and all the toys are put away. It's so refreshing. And then you turn on to make this house smell good, all the things that you make the house smell good. And it's like you're making breakfast and the house is clean and you're starting breakfast for the kid. And it's like, you know what? Like, it makes me motivated to want to start work, to start getting stuff done, extra cleaning, make calls, set up appointments, water the plants, open up all the windows. Like, I'm just motivated to start the day. I'm excited about whatever the day might hold. It may be nothing. It may be just, we're just at home and I have work and we're out for walks and we visit people in our community, and then I work and then Caleb is there, and it's just like, maybe we don't do anything, but having a clean house like sets the day right where I would want to be. Like it makes you excited to be at home, when you come back in the house after walking or going for a walk or going grocery shopping, it's exciting to be back in the house when it smells good and everything's put away and it's nice and you're like, yay, let's make lunch. We've had a good morning. And then it's nap time, and then I thought I was the only one that did this, but I recently saw a reel on Instagram where a mom, her boys were napping and she cleaned up all the toys during nap time. And I do this. I really like to do this because it's like the house is clean halfway through the day. And yes, 2 hours later when he wakes up, it's going to be messy again. And I'll have to re-clean at the end of the day. But, cleaning up toys really isn't that big of a deal. And having the 2 hours where I can edit a YouTube video or make a podcast or work is so nice to have, like, the smellies on, and the house completely clean, all the dishes done, the floor vacuumed, and this floor swept. It just makes me motivated to work. Having a fun drink, and then super motivated to get work done and work quickly, Having the bathrooms bleached and walking into the bathroom to a bleached bathroom is so just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like, yes, I'm getting stuff done. Yes, we have, like, a clean bathroom, and I feel, like, safe. That sounds weird, but, like, safe and comfortable. Not like it's all dirty and hairy and yucky and germy, but, like, it's safe. And I feel, like, really comfortable when it's all bleached out. And I'm excited to be in each room when it's clean. I'm getting a little off topic, and yet I'm not. I'm getting off topic because I want to talk about how to divide your time, or maybe just talking about how I need to, or how I need to figure it out, or how I find it hard. But I find that I'm just talking about it. I don't really know that I have a solution for this kind of situation, because I find that my plate is always full. Like every mom, honestly. I do find that our walks in the morning are really helpful for his nap, and the nap is super important. However, if we do something different, like go to the park or the lake, nap, and then come back, and then in the evening go for a walk, that's really nice too, because it's different things. But I really don't have an answer to my potential question. I find that I do not work. Sorry about the thunder. It's storming out. Hopefully Everest doesn't wake up. But I find that working at night does not go well for me. I'm just not a very good night worker. I can work in the afternoon. My best work is done in the morning, which is, I just wish that I could do like YouTube or podcasts in the morning. Maybe I wouldn't yawn all the time during a podcast, honestly. Or edit a video where I just have all of this time and energy I can put and creativity into a video. I just feel like the long form YouTube videos are kind of getting on the back burner, which I don't want it to. I want to keep it on the forefront. But I do notice that when you become a parent, certain things do inevitably go up on the back burner. Maybe you get to them once in a while. Maybe you can't get to them as often. But you can find a time for whatever it is, like working out. Like, we make, Everest and I make a time for us to go for a 5-mile walk. It's just important to me to get that in and have that time where we're out and about, where I'm walking, where he's walking and playing. He doesn't walk 5 miles, but he definitely rides in the stroller, and then sometimes I let him walk for a little bit. Finding the time and getting it all done, 2 different things, but like I think a lot of how you can work it out is decide where you work better with what thing. If you have like a project that you're doing, maybe a painting or something like that, you love to paint, find what time works best for you to paint. If it's at night when all the kids are asleep, well then you should save it for then, but that time, and get everything else done. Easier said than done. But maybe you need to set alarms. That could be a big help. Sorry I had to yawn. I'm starting to get tired, of course. I think knowing when you work best with what, like I could edit a YouTube video at night and not really get that sleepy, but if I work, I'll get so sleepy so fast. And also with podcasts, for some reason I get sleepy, but I've recently only recorded a podcast at night or in the late afternoon, which could be the reason, because I do get tired very quickly, and for some reason talking lately to a podcast makes me extremely tired. So finding out when to do what thing is really key. Setting alarms, starting right away, and then stopping, and don't keep doing that one project but do work on the next, could be really amazing. I'm not exactly sure how to balance it all. Having help definitely helps. But inevitably it does all get done. It's just trying to navigate it to get it all done in a day. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. I think overall, it feels like you're completely out of balance all the time. And maybe you are, maybe you're not. I think the biggest thing is giving your kids attention, helping them with what it is that they need. And when you are spending time with the Lord, when you are in His presence, attentive to His Spirit, communicating with Him all day, I think you are balanced when you're in His presence, when you are attentive to His Spirit, when you're taking time to spend with Him, for Him, about Him. I think being in the Lord's presence and attending to your kids, if you're a parent, is balance. Maybe your house looks a mess. Maybe, you're not getting the things you want done, the projects you want done. That's okay. There will be time for that someday, okay? There's going to be a time in your life where you have all the time in the world and all your kids are gone and grown up and doing whatever it is they're doing in life. And you'll have all time for those projects. And maybe there's a time in a week where you'll have somebody, a grandma, your parents, come take the kids for an hour or two so you can do the project that it is that you want to do. And that's amazing. Maybe it's at nap time. Maybe it's once they go to bed, your spouse can help you. Maybe not. Maybe you're doing it on your own. Those things will get done, but I think you're actually in balance when you are in the Lord and you're tending to your kids and you're helping them grow and learn and live life. You're in balance. I know it feels like you're out of balance and maybe you don't feel like you're getting the things you need to get done. Maybe you need to make an adjustment in your life. Maybe if you're working, maybe you can change jobs to where you can work when you have the free time. Maybe you need to see if your spouse can get a different job so that you can quit your job. Who knows? I don't know your situation is, but depending on what it is, balance looks different. And so maybe it's not what you think it is. Maybe balance isn't what you thought it was. Maybe balance, I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but maybe, just maybe, balance is certain things being in order and other things maybe on the back burner. I don't know. Up for discussion. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to this week's podcast. It was my pleasure. Please subscribe and leave a review. It means so much. And share this with a friend. Thanks for listening. Love you. Bye-bye.